All right, so today I really want to talk about really the importance about journaling and self-acceptance, They really go hand in hand together. So today, as I was writing my journal, I was writing limited beliefs I have about myself. And I would believe that, I'm awkward, I'm a lonely guy, I'm unlovable, I can't, I'm not willing to accept love from others. And all of that kind of just stems from not accepting who I am, not accepting my past, not accepting the shit that's happened to me when I was younger. That's really where your limiting beliefs kind of come from. Sure, they could come from the outside sources, but I'm realizing that stuff that you believe about yourself, that comes from yourself, from your own experiences, are the ones that are the most hardest to just kind of get over and overcome in a way. As I write my journal, I kind of like to put like a little prompt. So accepting who I am. That's what this is. Accepting who I am. And I'll read you the first the first few sentences. For so long I have viewed myself as someone who doesn't need anyone, but I know deep down I do need the people in my life badly if I want to feel fulfilled and happy. I went almost 8 years without asking for help. The only people I would tell my issues to was my best friend back then. I would never tell my mom, my brother, my sister, my dad. I would never tell any of them things that I was kind of embarrassed about, if that makes sense. It's like, obviously it's not stuff to be embarrassed about, but when you have these limited beliefs about yourself that you need to be this kind of way, that, whatever the case is, it's not easy to admit these kinds of things. It really isn't. It's hard because in the perspective before you accept who you are, these are the flaws. These are your mistakes. These are the pains and the darkness. Like why would you even want to accept that, But it's important to accept these things, If you don't accept these things, you're just going to feel empty. You're going to feel lost. You're going to feel angry. Why do you want to feel like that when you could feel the opposite by just putting in a little bit of work? You don't need to put in a tremendous amount of work, but you got to do some shit, And as I said, I don't ask for help, man. I don't. It's just something in me that I just don't do. And even when I have help with me, I would be so just, I don't even know how to describe it. My sister. So let me give you like an example. When I was 16 years old, I stopped talking to my dad. I completely cut him off because at that age is when I found out about pretty much the shit he put my family through, the shit he put my sister through, the shit he put my mom through, the shit he put all of us through. I realized that a lot of what I was told when I was younger about him was just lies. He wasn't the man I thought he was, and that destroyed me. I was a kid and I loved my dad. I still love my dad, but I would look up to him. I wanted to be just like him when I was a kid. Like he was my idol. He was my inspiration. And when I found that shit about him, it just broke me. It just broke my heart. I didn't know how else to just handle it. It enraged me. And that's when I believe I put up most of my limited beliefs about myself because of him. And I remember the main thing I would tell him, or I would tell myself, was I would never want to be like him. I just did not want to be like him at all. Which is kind of funny because I ended up becoming just like him not that long later. And that's kind of the stuff I'm really trying to put forward to that message, is that don't do that shit. My sister would tell me, forgive him. You gotta let go. You gotta forgive him. You gotta accept what happened. And I just wouldn't. I was so stubborn. And it's funny because he's stubborn as shit too. Like I was growing up to be just like him. And that was the one thing I did not want. And growing up, as I want to speak for myself, but also for anyone else who's in my situation, because I know this is how parents like ours act, Hispanic parents especially, bro. Like, if you're not, even if you are a second generation, you probably grew up the same way. But, bro, our communication would be through yelling. We'd scream at each other, we'd try to scare each other. That's the way we would talk that's the way we would talk shit through. Literally, like, stuff that, family conversations that should be civil were never civil. They were so much anger, so much yelling, so much screaming, so much fear and pain and hatred coming through our words, through our bodies, because of just the negativity, man. It's like that cycle of parenting, just putting fear through their kids, is just it's not it no more, bro. Like, we need to stop that. We can't do that shit no more. And I remember watching a Hamza video, and he was talking about how his family would do the same shit. They would do the same thing, just yelling. And I remember this vividly. He would say, just picture your mom as a child getting yelled at by her mother, and then your grandmother as a child getting yelled at by her mother. And that cycle just repeats and repeats and repeats. Same thing with your father. If your father abused you, he beat the shit out of you. Now imagine your father as a little kid getting beat up by his brothers and his father. And then that same thing happening over and over and over again. My mom would tell me that when she was a little kid, her mom died, unfortunately, But she was raised by her grandmother. And the shit that she would tell me her grandma would do to her would just, bro, makes me want to cry, man. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, that's my mom getting put through some shit like that, bro. Like, she would literally make my mom eat in the pig's den with the pigs right there. She would force her to do that shit. And on top of all the other shit that they would do, it's like, you can't really blame your parents for raising you like that. And I know it sucks to hear that, because you're like, it's because of them, But no, it's not because of them. It's just don't view it like that, man. We need to stop viewing it like that. It's more, what are you gonna do about it to stop it? Your parents have put so much, they sacrificed everything for you, just for you to end up being like them. No, you can't be like that, man. I think that's really what I really want to get out, is that we can't be like our parents no more, man. Our parents are strong people, don't get me wrong, they love us, but their mental health is just utterly garbage, and it's just trash. They don't understand these concepts, and the more that we're able to understand it within ourselves, the more we're able to express it within ourselves, the more able we're going to be to teach these lessons, teach these things to our parents, so that way we could talk to them about their traumas, talk to them about these things, because they know about it. They know about all these things, but it's about accepting it, A lot of parents, just think about this. I remember this specifically from a Hamza video. The psychological trauma that your parents endured, knowing the shit they put you through. Just think about that. And you got to start with yourself first. This journey that I'm on, I'm realizing my main destination is just to not be like my parents. Not in the sense like that they're bad people, but it's just, we got to stop that generational trauma. We gotta build stronger people. We gotta be stronger. We gotta be better. We gotta be kinder. We gotta be more loving, more caring. And once we can start with ourselves, we're able to help others. We need to be able to help ourselves first. And it just starts with just simple journaling. Simple journaling, man. That's all you really got to start with. Just accepting, admit these things, letting these shits off your chest. So what I want you to do, I want you to do what I did. Write some of your limiting beliefs. Write what you believe about yourself. Write your fears. Write what you think about yourself. And then write right after what you want for your character to be as you progress through this journey. Write some of the qualities and beliefs that you want within yourself. Because you know you have it within yourself. Because you've been like that when you were a kid. Right? I'm not wrong about this. Well, at least I can't speak for everyone. I understand there are other people who went through just traumatic shit as children, but even then, those motherfuckers are strong. They're strong people. I know some one of my friends from high school, he talked to me about his childhood life, and looking at him now, man, he's such a wise man. He's a wise guy, man. I love that guy. Honestly, he helped me a lot too. But the only reason he was able to help me was because he accepted it within himself first. He was able to improve himself, and thus he helped others that way. Just forgive yourself too. I think that's important, being able to forgive yourself. All right, so if you watched this far, I appreciate you down to my core. Thank you so much for listening to what I had to say today. If any of this resonated with you, if anything that I said, really helped you throughout your day, just let me know. I appreciate everything. Go ahead and give me some criticism in the comments, what I could improve on, anything else you'd like me to just kind of talk about. And I appreciate a subscribe. So, amen. Hope you enjoy your day.